Alright, Merry Christmas. And here's the 2024 Xbox collection. Starting off with Ace Combat Evolved. Um, a really good flight combat game. AEW Fight Forever. A fun wrestling game. Agents of Mayhem, a really cool open world action adventure game. Really liked all the characters in it. Alan Wake Remastered. Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX. Aliens Fire Team Elite. A very fun co-op shooter. Aliens Isolation. I still think this is the best Aliens game that was made to date. Alakine's Gun. The Amazing Spider-Man. Fun superhero game. Fairly on the short side. But yeah, you can get some enjoyment out of it. There's Anthem. It's got the FPS boost on the current Xbox consoles. Ark Survival Evolved. Ori and the Seasons of Secret. The Secret of Seasons, my bad. My favorite franchise, Assassin's Creed, and here's Assassin's Creed 1, the backwards compatible version. DXO Collection, which is 2, Brotherhood and Revelations. Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, a fan favorite in the series. Assassin's Creed Unity, one that I loved, and when I played it, didn't really have the notorious glitches it had. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, love Syndicate, and it's got the current gen upgrade, so it looks fantastic in 4K 60. Assassin's Creed Origins is a masterpiece of a game. Also got the current gen upgrade. My favorite Assassin's Creed in this series is Odyssey. Again, another masterpiece. I mean, it's my favorite series, so obviously I'm gonna have high praise for them all. Valhalla, also absolutely fantastic. One of my most played games on Xbox. Assassin's Creed Mirage, which also was great, but much shorter than the last few. And Assassin's Creed Chronicles, which comes with India, China, and Russia. Asterigos, Crest of the Stars. Haven't played it yet, but it looks like it could be fun. Atlas Fallen is a very fun, open world RPG. Love the gameplay and the momentum system. Very unique. There's Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan 2. And Attack on Titan 2 Final Battle. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, a really good open world game. The open world in this is probably one of the most beautiful I've ever played. Yeah, but good stuff there. Avatar, The Last Airbender, Quest for Balance. Back for Blood. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 remasters, or the enhanced editions as it's called here. Baldur's Gate 3, and this comes with 4 discs in it, by the way. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, considered one of the best RPGs ever made. Banisher's Ghost of New Eden, love this game. Absolutely had a great time with it, with Red and Antia. Batman Arkham Origins, backwards compatible version, but a brilliant game. Have the best boss battles in the series, in my opinion. Batman Return to Arkham, which has Arkham Asylum, Arkham City. The Batman series are all-time classics. My favorite in the series is Batman Arkham Knight. I think the gameplay in this one is perfect as gameplay could get. Just loved everything. The DLC, all the characters, everything about it was just wonderful. Batman the Telltale series and its sequel, Batman the Enemy Within. Next up here, here's Battleborn. I miss Battleborn. I used to play it, had a great time with it, but that game is dead. It's dead. You can't do nothing with it. Battlefield 1. I love the Battlefield series. There's 4, 5, 2042, and Hardline. So yeah, all the Battlefields for Xbox One and Series X. The Bayonetta Vanquish 10-year anniversary collection. Bayonetta is one of my favorite games ever. I think that game's just nothing short of brilliant, and Vanquish is also awesome. Bendy and the Ink Machine. Biomutant. I really enjoyed Biomutant. The BioShock trilogy of games is a masterpiece as well. All of them are great. You can't go wrong with either one. Blair Witch. Blaze Blue. It would be cool if there were more that came to Xbox. Bleeding Edge. Bloodstained. Ritual of the Night. This is a great Castlevania-like game, Metroidvania-style game. The Borderlands games, we got Borderlands, the Game of the Year edition. Borderlands, the Handsome Collection, which is 2 in the pre-sequel. And Borderlands 3. Bramble the Mountain King, this is one of those games that I played on Game Pass. Really enjoyed it and got the physical copy of it. So there's that. Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition. And Burnout Paradise Remastered. Great game from a great series. Cabela's African Adventures. Call of Cthulhu. The Callisto Protocol. Made by the same team that did Dead Space. Cartoon Network's Battle Crashers. Children of Morta. This is another one of those games that first played it on Game Pass. Absolutely loved it. Had to buy the physical edition. Chronos Before the Ashes is not good. It's a pre-sequel to Remnant, which are far better games. Citadel Forged with Fire. Close to the Sun. Code Vein, i.e. anime Dark Souls. Conan Exile. Control from Remedy, had a fun time playing it. Absolutely loved Crackdown 3, very fun open world game. Really loved the gameplay and how everything looked. Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy. The Crew 1 and 2. Now the Crew is like Battleborn is a dead game. Can't play it anymore, unfortunately. The Crew 2 is still active, and I'm not a fan of games where they could just shut it off, Cuphead, a masterpiece of a game. One of my favorite games ever, Cyberpunk 2077. If there's a level beyond masterpiece, a game like Cyberpunk is up there with, say, the Assassin's Creed series for me. I just loved everything about it, and even the Phantom Liberty is phenomenal. The Dark Souls trilogy. You got Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls 2 and 3. And I also have the Dark Souls Trilogy Steelbook Edition. Yeah, I picked that up sometime. Another one of my favorite series is the Darksiders series. You got Darksiders War Master Edition. Darksiders 2 just got the current gen upgrade, so it runs at 4K 60 on modern consoles. Brilliant game. Hopefully Darksiders 3 get that treatment soon. I'd love to play it in 60 FPS, and same with Darksiders Genesis, which is more like a top-down Diablo style mix with your classic Darksiders gameplay. This is a fun little action adventure game. DC Justice League Cosmic Chaos. You know, this is one of them games I play. You know, when you got some spare time, play for about 30 minutes to an hour, and it's just fun. It's a fun little. I love it. Dead by Daylight. Dead or Alive 5 and 6. Some fun fighting games. A fun superhero game in Deadpool. Really enjoyed it. The Dead Rising series. We got Dead Rising 1, 2, 3, and 4. And since I already have Dead Rising 1, I didn't see the need to buy that the deluxe remaster they released earlier this year. There's Deathloop. Great game from Arcane. Deliver Us the Moon. 2 remakes here, and Destroy All Humans 1 and 2. Very fun action adventure game. Devil May Cry HD Edition Collection. DMC Devil May Cry, and I think people have finally come around to this game. That is not bad at all. Runs at 60 frames per second as well. But yeah, that's a fun hack and slash. One of my favorite genres. And Devil May Cry 5, which is probably the best in the series. Deus Ex Mankind Divided is a great RPG. Here's Diablo 3 and 4, 2 excellent games. Dishonored, brilliant game. Dishonored is my favorite Arcane game they've made. Love Dishonored. Dishonored 2 is also excellent. Probably my favorite in the whole series. And then there's Dishonored Death of the Outsider, which this was actually an expansion, I believe, for it. Disney's Epic Mickey Rebrushed. A fun platformer, one that I need to put more time into. And Disneyland Adventure. Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2. This was made from the same people, Larian, who did Baldur's Gate 3. And, you know, I remember some years ago, Divinity Original Sin 2 was also kind of like the best RPG you could play at the time. Dolmen, not that good, unfortunately. Doom and Doom Eternal, brilliant games. I know Doom, The Dark Ages is also going to be a wonderful game that comes out next year. Dragon Age Inquisition, absolutely spectacular game. And Dragon Age The Veilguard, my 2024 Game of the Year. Controversial, as some may see, but I had a wonderful time with it. Beat it some weeks ago. Absolutely excellent game. Loved it. Dragon Ball Fighters, great game. Well, also one of my favorite steelbooks in the collection. This art is just a masterpiece. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, probably my favorite Dragon Ball Z game in the collection. And Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1 and 2. Yeah, eventually I'm gonna pick up Sparking Zero that came out early this year. That looks fun as well. I'm a big Dragon Ball fan. I'd say pretty big. Dragon Quest 11. Here's some of the best RPGs you could play on Xbox is Dragon's Dogma 1 and 2, Dark Arisen, Dragon's Dogma 2. Probably my second favorite game of 2024. Absolutely love it. Excellent gameplay. The encounters are probably a bit much to, when you run into too many enemies. But other than that, the gameplay in those games are some of the best gameplay in any game, bar none. Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance. Dying Light 1 and 2. Make sure I get that on. Let's see. Dynasty Warriors 9 and Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires. I played Empires quite a bit, had a good time with it. I know Dynasty Warriors 9, however, not considered the best in the series from the Dynasty Warriors fans. Elden Ring. The Elder Scrolls Oblivion and Skyrim. And, Oblivion is the backwards compatible version. Elix 1 and 2. RIP to Piranha Bytes. They were a German-based developer who made games like Gothic, Risen, and Elix. And I believe they went under, unfortunately, recently. Elite Dangerous. Here's a great game, Evil West. Love this game. And then you got The Evil Within 1 and 2. These are made from the same developers who made Hi-Fi Rush. Extinction, however, not very good. This is one of them games I picked up extremely cheap. When I say extremely cheap, I mean like $3 cheap, and I see why it was that damn cheap. It was unfortunately not good at all. However, some excellent games are the Fable trilogy of games, Anniversary 2 and 3. Can't wait for Fable 2025, come out next year. But yeah, Fable, a set of games you can't go wrong with. Fade to Silence. This is like the survival RPG. The Falconeer. This was a day one game on the Series X back in 2020. Here's another excellent series of games. The Fallout games. Fallout 3. Fallout 4, which got the current gen upgrade and looks and runs beautifully. Fallout 76. And Fallout New Vegas, which to many is considered the best in the series. So yeah, Fallout, a wonderful series of games. Another personal favorite of mine is the Far Cry series. So it's got Far Cry 3 Classic Edition. Unfortunately, it's locked at 30 frames per second for some reason. Far Cry 4. Far Cry 5 got the current gen upgrade. Looks beautiful, 4K 60, and is a masterpiece of a game. Definitely, easily one of the best ones they ever did. Far Cry 6, probably my favorite. Absolutely loved Yara, which is based on Cuba and everything surrounded it, and loved Danny, the protagonist in it. Far Cry New Dawn. Far Cry Primal. And yeah, that's the Far Cry games. Like I said, masterpiece of games. Fast and the Furious Crossroads. Not too good. Funny enough, Forza Horizon 2 had a much better Fast and the Furious mode. Here's the Final Fantasy games in my collection. It's Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core Reunions. A mouthful, yeah, and for some reason, Xbox get these Square Enix, I actually like a lot of Square Enix games, but the way they release Final Fantasy games on Xbox is odd. Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2 remastered. Final Fantasy 12, The Zodiac Age. Final Fantasy 15, which is actually quite good of a game after you get through the initial hours, though. And Final Fantasy Type 0, and this is based off a PSP game. I think it was remastered from that. Flashback 2. And let's pause there. All right. Next up, For Honor. The Forgotten City. Foreclosed. A brilliant set of games. Forza Horizon 2. Forza Horizon 3. Forza Horizon 4. And Forza Horizon 5. There's also Forza Motorsport 2023. Forza Motorsport 5. Forza Motorsport 6. And my favorite racing game, Forza Motorsport 7. So yeah, the Forza series, absolutely wonderful games. Friday the 13th, the game. Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Gears 4. Gears 5. And Gears Tactics. Generation Zero. I didn't realize we had a couple of Ghostbusters games. Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters, the video game remastered. This game is wonderful. It's pretty much Ghostbusters 3, basically. Ghostwire Tokyo. Steelbook. G.I. Joe. Operation Blackout. Another personal favorite of mine, Gotham Knights. Absolutely love this game. The game everybody's probably got in their collection, GTA 5. GTA 6 is probably going to do records next year. Greedfall, a great RPG from Spiders, who, you know, they kind of make them AA style RPGs. That's my favorite game of theirs. Grounded is a great survival game. Own it digitally, and then when the physical version came up, went ahead and purchased it. This is in the wrong spot, but Telltale's version of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Gungrave Gore. Well, I believe this is based off an anime. It's a third-person shooter. There's Hades. This is a roguelike game. And I wish more games had the holographic cover like that. Halo 5 Guardians. Halo Infinite. Halo the Master Chief Collection. Halo Wars 2. Hellblade, Senya's Sacrifice. Unfortunately, Hellblade 2 is digital only, so no physical version for the collection. High on Life, a very great first-person shooter. Absolutely wonderful game. Yeah, that game is fantastic. The Hitman trilogy. Here's Hitman 1, 2, and 3. Excellent open world RPG. Hogwarts Legacy. Absolutely fantastic. Homefront: The Revolution. And House of the Dead remake. Yeah, this game this game is not easy to find physically. It took me ages to find this game. Absolute ages to find this game. But yeah, glad it's in my collection. Hunt Showdown. Immortals of Avium. This game is surprisingly good. It's playable on Game Pass, and it should be super cheap. Immortals Phoenix Rising. This is my personal 2020 game of the year back then. Wonderful game. Absolutely loved it. I would love a sequel to it. Immortals Unchained. In Sound Mind. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So far, a brilliant game. Captures Indiana Jones perfectly. Similar to how the Ghostbusters video game pretty much feels like a sequel to the movie. This kind of feels like the next journey of classic Indiana Jones. The Inside and Limbo combo pack. I'm a huge DC fan, so loved Injustice 1 and 2. John Wick Hex. Journey to the Savage Planet. Judgment and Lost Judgment. This is my favorite pair of Yakuza spin-offs. Really enjoyed it. Especially Lost Judgment. Long cutscenes though. Very long cutscenes. Jumanji, the video game. Jump Force, the anime fighter. Just Cause 3 and 4. Some really fun open world games. Katamari Damacy Reroll, either remaster or remake of the Katamari Damacy games, I believe. Caves in the Wild Mask. Kena, Bridges of Spirits. This is really good action adventure game. Killing Floor 2. Killer Instinct, another game that's got the current gen upgrades and runs and plays beautifully on it. Kingdom Come Deliverance, probably the most hardcore RPG you'll ever play. I mean, you literally gotta learn how to read and things like that. And when you do the basics of combat, you're literally a novice learning how to use a weapon for the first time. Kingdom Hearts 3. A game I've praised many times, Kingdom of Amalur and Kingdom of Amalur Re-Reckoning. Two of the best RPGs I ever played in my life. Hall of Fame level games, in my opinion. Love them. L.A. Noire. Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. Lego DC Supervillains. Also, really neat steelbook. I know it's just Harley Quinn and Lego face, but the colors are really nice. Lego Harry Potter collection. Lego Marvel collection comes with Avengers, Marvel Superheroes 1 and 2. Lego Ninjago movie, the video game. Lego Star Wars, The Force Awakens. And Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga. This is a really good of a Lego game. Winston Battle Mage. Like a Dragon Ishin. And this one's the one that's set in, I think, feudal Japan, something like that. Little Nightmares 1 and 2. Lollipop Chainsaw Repopped, absolutely fantastic game. One of those games that I originally bought digitally. When the physical version came up, went ahead and purchased it. Lord of the Ring Golem. Lords of the Fallen. I didn't pick up the remake or sequel, whatever the Lords of the Fallen is classified under. Here's a brilliant open world game, Mad Max, and it runs at 120 frames per second on the Series X and S. So pick it up. Great game. Absolutely great game. The Mafia trilogy. Great set of games again. My personal favorite is Mafia 3. Yeah, so all three of them are great. Mafia 3 is my favorite of the bunch. And I also got the Steelbook version separately. Maneater. Marvel's Avengers, a very fun game. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is a fantastic game. Absolutely fantastic. Love that game. And I also love Marvel Midnight Sun. I wouldn't think I'd love a card game as much as I do. But yeah, that's a great game as well. Marvel Ultimate vs. Capcom 3. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Which, fun fact, this game, I swear to you guys, have the same story as DC versus Mortal Kombat. I promise you, it's very similar. It's uncanny. Alright, some of the best games ever made. Mass Effect Andromeda, to me, has the best gameplay in the series. Kind of reminds me of Dragon Age, the Veilguard. The fourth in the series, the most controversial, but has the best gameplay in my opinion. And of course, the trilogy, the Mass Effect Legendary Collection. Some of the best trilogy. Art to me is the best trilogy in gaming. Just all three of them, just you can't praise them enough. The Medium. Metal Gear Solid, The Phantom Pain. This is the Ground Zero Phantom Pain double pack. And Metal Gear Survive. Next up from Atlas is Metaphor ReFantazio. This is a game that I started pretty recently. And, can't wait to really dig deep into it. But it looks excellent. Really done very well. Metro Exodus. Metro Redux, which comes with 2020 Metro Last Light in 2033. Microsoft Flight Simulator. A fantastic pair of games. And Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War. Both are absolutely excellent. With some great gameplay. Minecraft Legends. It's like Minecraft, it was a RTS, something like that. Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Monster Hunter World. Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat X. Well, this is XL. It comes with the extra characters. And Mortal Kombat 11. Great series of games. Mortal Shell. Murdered Soul Suspect. And Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden. Narcos Rise of the Cartel, based off the Netflix series. Necromunda Hired Gun. Need for Speed Heat. And Need for Speed Payback. I also own some other ones digitally that were unbelievably cheap. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. When it first came out, it did have the voice acting, which didn't make sense to me. Eventually, they released an update with it, and now it sounds as good as it should. Near Replicant is a great JRPG. Can't go wrong with it. No Man's Sky. Ah, yes. Great game is No More Heroes 3. I would love if the other two somehow made it to Xbox one day. And here's a really great game, No Straight Roads. Very creative game. Oddworld Soulstorm. One Piece Odyssey. One Piece Pirate Warrior 4. A fun Dynasty Warrior type game. Onimusha. I believe we're getting a new one too. Someday. Here's another excellent set of games. Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will-O-Wisps. Very great Metroidvania style games. Outcast, A New Beginning, and Outcast Second Contact. These are two open world third person games. Another personal favorite, The Outer Worlds. Absolutely love The Outer Worlds. Can't wait for The Outer Worlds 2 next year. Play it, enjoy it as much as I did. Akami HD. This is another game I believe is getting a sequel. Outriders. I had a good time with Outriders. This is a fun third-person shooter, but it's made for co-op. Even though you can play solo, the game is made for co-op. So, and Outworld is a very, very difficult open world RPG. Overwatch, which, funny enough, I think if you put the disc in now, it just plays Overwatch 2 or something like that. Payday 2. Pentiment from Obsidian. I haven't played it yet, but did pick it up physically. Gonna try it eventually. Got Oh, okay. Alright. Persona 3 Reload. Persona 3 Portable. Persona 4 Golden. And Persona 5 Royal. So I got a bunch of Persona games here from Atlas. Yeah, they make quality JRPGs. Well known, well renowned. I'm glad they're on Xbox. Pillars Eternity 1. And Pillars Eternity 2. PixArk. A Plague's Tale Requiem and Innocence, both for excellent games. Amicia, one of my favorite video game protagonists ever. Absolutely love her. She really is the star of these games. Pick them up. Both are on Game Pass, I believe. Phenomenal games. Planetscape Torment and Icewind Dale, some classic CRPGs. PUBG. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, a really cool fighting game. Prey from Arcane, and this is Morgan Wu, the protagonist, male and female. Prince of Persia, one of the best games of 2024 in my opinion. Really awesome Metroidvania style game. Prototype 1 and 2. Psychonauts 2, absolutely phenomenal game as well. Love Psychonauts. Also love this next one. Quantum Break, what a great game. You know, play as Jack Joyce. The guy who played Iceman, Sean Ashmore, and the X-Men movies. Rage 2. Rayman Legends. Rare Replay. Recore's a fun third-person game. Kind of difficult, you know, a lot of puzzles, but had a great time with it. Red Faction Guerrilla. Remastered, one of the worst names ever. Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2, so a couple of Rockstar masterpieces. Redeemer Enhanced Edition. Redfall. Remnant 1 and 2. Couple fun shooters. Remothered Broken Porcelain and Tormented Fathers. Alright. Resident Evil 0 and 1. Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 3. Resident Evil 4, the remastered, not the remake. Resident Evil 5. Resident Evil 6. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Resident Evil 8 Village. Resident Evil Revelations, and Revelations 2. And so that's all the Resident Evil games in my collection. Rift Breakers, Rhyme, RoboCop Rogue City is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely love the game. Love it. Let me say this. We are getting some really good licensed games now. Because when I was a kid, licensed games were notoriously terrible. But games like this and RoboCop, Indiana Jones, just excellent stuff. Rogue Trooper Redux. And Rise Son of Rome, a very fun hack and slash style game. Saints Row Reboot. Fun game, but bad bad writing. When I say bad writing, it's very awkward. Saints Row the Third, very fun game. And Saints Row the Fourth, Saints Row 4 and Get Out of Hell. Samurai Shodown. Samurai Warriors 5. Scarlet Nexus is my favorite JRPG on Xbox. Loved it. When I say I loved it, I can't praise it enough. Scars Above. Scorn. And this really awesome steelbook. Yeah, it was on Game Pass first. Picked up the physical edition when it came out. Scream Ride, a really cool like roller coaster builder. It's a neat game. Sea of Thieves. The Sega Genesis collection. This game was recently delisted digitally, so picked it up physical before that because that price is probably gonna go up now. You can't buy it digitally. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Shadows Awakening. This is like a Diablo style game. And Shadow Warrior. The other two I think are digital only. Shenmue 1 and 2, the classic open world game that really revolutionized the genre back on the Dreamcast. And the sequels on the OG Xbox. Sherlock Holmes, Crime and Punishment, and The Devil's Daughter. Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. Shining Resonance Refrain. And The Sims 4. You guys think we're ever going to get a Sims 5? Because Sims 4 came out a long time ago. The Sinking City. Sleeping Dogs, this is a great game. Got the FPS boost on Xbox Series S and X, and it should be extremely cheap. Sniper Elite V2 Remaster. Sniper Elite 3, Sniper Elite 4, and Sniper Elite 5. And there's also Sniper Elite Resistance coming out early next year in January. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts. Not nearly as good as the Sniper Elite series. Snoopy's Grand Adventure. Sonic Forces. Sonic Frontiers. Also love that steelbook. And Sonic Mania Plus. Gotta love Sonic. There's also Sonic game released this year I want to pick up eventually. Songs of the Deep. Songs of the Deep, not plural. I didn't realize we got this many South Park games, but Stick of Truth, fantastic. Snow Day, very fun. The Fractured Butthole, the best of the three. All three of them are great. All three of them are hilarious. Captures the show's humor perfectly. But of all of them, the Fractured Butthole is just, that's on the next level of how great that is. But the Stick of Truth is also, you know what? The one thing the Stick of Truth had, the other one didn't, was the Canada level. That Canada level is downright unbelievably funny. Soul Calibur 6. Soul Hackers 2. I really enjoy this game. I eventually I'm gonna beat it, but I really enjoy Ringo and the crew. Solstice is a hack and slash game I absolutely love. Love it so much. And Sparklight, which is like a classic style, classic Zelda style game. Let's see. With me here. Next up is Stalker 2. Also on Game Pass at the time of this recording. Star Ocean, The Divine Force. Star Wars Prodigy. Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I got stuck on this game, I'm not gonna lie. Star Wars Outlaws, a great game. My favorite Star Wars game in the bunch. I'm having a wonderful time with the game. Star Wars Squadron. And Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the sequel to Fallen Order. Starfield, an absolute masterpiece of a game. One of my favorite RPGs on Xbox. Just such a brilliant space-based game. You know what? You know what I think it is? I think I just love space-based RPGs. The Outer World, loved it. Mass Effect, loved it. Mass Effect Andromeda, as controversial as that game is, loved it. Starfield, loved it. So maybe it's just the genre that captures me. Something about being in space just captures me. State of Decay 1, the year 1 edition. State of Decay 2, one of my favorite games of the last generation. Brilliant game. I can't wait for State of Decay 3. A true masterpiece. Steven Universe, Save the Light, and OKKO, Let's Play Heroes. I just picked this up recently. Not sure what kind of games they are really. But eventually, I'll find out when I put it in my Xbox. Strange Brigade. Yes, Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins. I think there's like a spin-off for this Final Fantasy series. Again, Square fractures the releases of Final Fantasy games on the Xbox. Next up is Stray, the cat game. I have some cats of my own, so I love cats. Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. Streets of Rage 4, one of the best beat-em-ups on Xbox. Phenomenal game. Stubbs the Zombie. Styx, Shards of Darkness. Subnautica, Below Zero. Suicide Squad, Killed the Justice League, fun game. Love my DC and superhero stuff. Sunset Overdrive, my favorite game of last generation. The game that got me back into gaming. One of my favorites of all time. Super Lucky's Tale. The Surge 1. And The Surge 2. Sword Art Online, Alicization Licorice. Sword Art Online, Fatal Bullet, much better than the other one. This is actually a fun game. Tales from the Borderland and new Tales from the Borderland. Pretty cool Telltales-like games. Some Tales series. Tales of Arise is one of my favorite JRPGs on Xbox. Absolutely brilliant game. Then there's Tales of Symphonia Remastered and Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition, that just means it's remastered as well. The Technomancer, made from the same developers who made Greedfall. Love me some Ninja Turtles, so there's Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga collection. Has a bunch of retro Ninja Turtle games I grew up on. Some I didn't play because I didn't have a Nintendo console as a kid. Some I did that were on Sega. But yeah, that's a great trip down memory lane. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Ninja Manhattans is a fun hack and slash from Platinum Games. I don't think it's as well loved as some of their other games, but I had a great time with it. I thought it was very, very fun. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is a phenomenal beat 'em up. Probably one of the best they've ever done. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Wrath of the Mutants is another beat 'em up, but this one's based off the 2012 Nickelodeon show. And Tekken 7. Okay. Let's see. Next up is Temtem. Hey, kind of a Pokemon clone. Terminator Resistance, made by the same developers as RoboCop Rogue City, I believe. Fun game, not as good as RoboCop. You can still get a lot out of it. Terraria. Titan Quest. Love this game, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Spin-off from the Borderlands series. Tom Clancy, The Division's 1. The Division 2. Oh, upside down. The Division 2. Actually, Ghost Recon Breakpoint. A game that it came out pretty good, has some updates that made it really good. And there's a dedicated community to Breakpoint that really loves it. Ghost Recon Wildlands, phenomenal steelbook, by the way. They're tactical third-person shooters, by the way. Rainbow Six Siege. Tomb Raider, the Definitive Edition. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Yeah, the Tomb Raider trilogy, some of my favorites as well. Loved it, and my favorite of 3 is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. All 3 of them are brilliant. Can't go wrong with either one. Torment, Tides of Numeria. I believe this is made from the same devs who are making South of Midnight. From In Exile. Transformers Battlegrounds. Transformers Devastations, which is very fun. And Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark. Well, maybe not as good as War for Cybertron or Fall of Cybertron. I believe that's the 3rd one in the series. Feel free to correct me. Still a fun game. Trials Fusion. Trine Collection, which comes with Trine 1 through 4. Trine 5. And yeah, these are all 2D side scrollers, kind of like those Metroidvania type games. Pretty good stuff. Troll and I, terrible game. Absolutely terrible. Unknown 9 Awakening. This is a pretty fun game. Janky though, very janky. You know, the controls could feel awkward, but it's pretty good. It's probably like a C at best. Not gonna blow your mind, but if you see it for $20, I say pick it up. Valkyrie Revolution. Valkyrie Chronicles 4. Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song. Vampire, this game is pretty fun, very cool. RPG with some pretty cool mechanics. Like Jonathan Reed, the protagonist of the game. Victor Vran. Vikings, Wolves of Midgard. Visions of Mana. Absolutely love this game. One of my favorites of the year. Had a great time playing as Val, Hina, Karina, Palomina, Jolie, and Morley. Yeah, I remember the whole crew's name. That's how much I played it. Loved it. Had a great time with it. Awesome steelbook, by the way. Love the gold. That's Hina on the cover. Yeah, and this is all of the elemental plots. Excellent game. Loved it. Wanted Dead, a very fun hack and slash third person shooter. Could be a little tough, but still fun game. Warhammer Vermintide 1 and 2. Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr. This is like a top-down Diablo style game. One of the best games of 2024. Warhammer Space Marines 2. Absolutely phenomenal game. It really is. Warriors of Orochi 3 Ultimate. Warriors of Orochi 4. And Warriors of Orochi 4 Ultimate. I just realized how many of these Dynasty Warriors style games I have. Wasteland 2 and Wasteland 3. Very cool turn-based classic style RPGs. Series I really enjoy is Watch Dogs, and here's Watch Dogs 1 and 2 steelbooks. Watch Dogs 2 is probably the best in this series. Very good game. And there's Watch Dogs Legion as well. I really love the mechanic. You don't really have a set protagonist. You can just kind of recruit people. I thought that is really, really fun mechanic. We Happy Few. Great game. The only game that you play as a mother, as far as I know. At least a mother, you know, you're literally taking care of a baby under Sally's part, the second part. But all of them are really good. Werewolf, The Apocalypse, Earthblood, fun hacker slash style game. Short game too. Wild Hearts, this is like a Monster Hunter clone. And The Witcher 3. I mean, what needs to be said about The Witcher 3? Can't wait for The Witcher 4. This is a masterpiece though. And a game I desperately need to beat. Wolfenstein, The New Order, and The Old Blood. Wolfenstein 2. Yeah, Wolfenstein Youngblood. You get a Wolfenstein game. The same developers, Machine Gun Games, I believe, made Indiana Jones. World War Z. WWE 2K16 with the homie Stone Cold Steve Austin. One of the best wrestlers ever. And if you think that, give me a hell yeah. And XCOM 2. Give me a hell yeah. John Won 7. This is a Taiwanese RPG. 13. A remastered of the old school comic book style game. The only mainline Yakuza game on physically, Like a Dragon, Yakuza Like a Dragon, the 7th one. And I believe after that they start to just call them Like a Dragon in general based off, because that's what it's called in Japan, right? It's not Yakuza, it's Like a Dragon if I'm not mistaken. Zombie Army 4, Dead War. Hold on, where's Zombie Army Trilogy? Okay, got mixed up there. Zombie Army Trilogy, Ziggurat, Zombieland Double Tap, Zoo Tycoon, and Warhammer Chaos Bane. So yeah, there it is, my physical collection for Xbox, Xbox Series S and Xbox One. Let me know what you guys think. And I'm out. Alright, my digital only games. Starting with After Us. I really enjoyed this nice and chill game. Arkham, Origami 2, Beyond Good and Evil, the 20th Anniversary Edition, Bright Memory Infinite, and Bright Memory, both are fun games. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is very much a spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio, and it's $20 right now. Blacktail, The Chant, Crossfire X, I believe that's a dead game. The Crisis Trilogy Remastered, 1, 2, and 3. The Series X version of DC Universe Online, Dead Space Remake, Death Stranding Director's Cut, Fist, Forged in Shadow Torch, Diablo 2, Deliver Us Mars, Death's Door, Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, G.I. Joe Wrath of Cobra, which unfortunately the game doesn't have online co-op for some reason. Gangs of Sherwood, fun game though. GoldenEye 007, Godfall, Ghostwire Tokyo, Genshin Impact, The Gunk, really good game. Hellboy Web of Weird, Hi-Fi Rush is an absolutely spectacular game. You already heard me gush about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Life is Strange True Colors, and Life is Strange Double Exposure, which I'm in the middle of Double Exposure right now. It's pretty good. I like Max Caulfield, the protagonist. So far, so good. Legends of Mana, Infinity Strash, Dragon Quest, and this is pretty much like the spin-off. It's real-time combat instead of turn-based. So far, it's pretty good. Lost in Random is a phenomenal game. Absolutely love it. Marvel Rivals. Haven't started it yet, but it's pretty much Overwatch with Marvel characters. So, If you like Overwatch, you're gonna like Marvel Rivals, in my opinion. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Reader's Rewind. So far, having a great time with the game. Again, for some reason, no online co-op. I don't know why these beat 'em ups are just couch co-op. I live alone, so it would be nice if these games had online co-op because I don't have anybody to play with at home. Monster Hunter Rise, the Outer Worlds Spatial Choice Edition, and this is just a remaster of the Outer Worlds. The Outer Wilds, so don't get mixed up. Two different games, both are great. Need for Speed Unbound, a fun racing game. Multiverses, this is pretty much a Smash Bros. Clone of with Warner Brothers characters. It's pretty cool. Path of Exiles, Pumpkin Jack, very fun platformer. Ravenlock is an awesome game. Love Ravenlock. River City's Girls 2 is an awesome beat 'em up that actually has online co-op, by the way. Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. Since It's Midnight. Sable has wonderful art style, Sable. Rogue Company. I don't even know how I got this game. I'm never going to play it realistically. Starfield, you already heard me gush about Starfield. Wonderful game. Stray Blade, unfortunately, was a disappointment. It's more of a Dark Souls clone. I thought it was going to be like a RPG like Kingdoms and Amulet, like an open world RPG. Sword and Fairy Together Forever is a Chinese-based RPG. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Tales of Kinzaru is a very fun Metroidvania style game. I really enjoy it. What Remains of Edith Finch. Haven't played it yet, but heard wonderful things about it. So hopefully it lives up to the praise that I've heard. Trials of Mana. So far, having a fun game. Trepang 2. And Throne and Liberty. I haven't started this yet, but I do know. Matter of fact, I got it through the perks because if you subscribe to Game Pass Ultimate, you get some cool perks for the game. So whenever I jump into it, I'll have some extra content, it seems. Now to the Xbox One digital games. Adam's Ventures Origins. Agony. Not good. Origami. Battletoads, however, is awesome, but unfortunately, no online co-op. D4 Dark Dreams Don't Die. Crimson Dragon. Contrast. I really enjoy Contrast. Blessed Unleash. The Xbox One version of DC Universe Online. Degrees of Separation, which is a pretty cool game. Demon Skin. I believe that might be a Xbox One exclusive, actually. Devil May Cry 4. Felix the Reaper. Far Cry 3. Blood Dragon, the Classic Edition, which just means it's a remastered. Everreach Project Eden. I didn't really like the game, especially the controls were just too wonky. Disney Afternoon Collection. Final Star. Final Station. Final Watch. Flipping Death. Flipping Death got a cool art style. Grandia HD Collection based off the classic Sega RPGs that I also think are on PlayStation 1, but I just remembered off Sega. Goat Simulator. Gigantic. This game was actually dead for a while, and I think it made a return recently. Gianna Sisters, Twisted Dreams. Picked this up extremely cheap recently. A Hat in Time is a wonderful platformer. Absolutely excellent game. Love A Hat in Time. And Hat Girl. Hitman Absolution. Hitman Blood Money. Couple of digital only remasters. Hybrid Force. The trilogy of The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 1, 2, and 3. These are Diablo style top down RPGs. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Initial 2, New Stage. Budget game, but it's actually pretty fun hack and slash. The Kingdom Hearts games, which all have very weird titles and numbering systems. So you got 1.5 plus 2.5 remix, 2.8 Melody of Memoirs. Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris. Life is Strange 2. Life is Strange Remastered. And Life is Strange Before the Storm. So yeah, when I bought Life is Strange True Colors. It pretty much came bundled with all the older Life is Strange games. So, I'll tackle them eventually. Especially if I end up enjoying Double Exposure, which is the first one I've ever played and one I'm currently in the middle of playing through. Local Cycle, very awesome game. Need for Speed Rival, Need for Speed, and Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. There's Nier Automata, Becomes as God's Edition, great game. Everybody loves B2. Ninja Gaiden, the Ninja Gaiden collection were for all three of these. So you got Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Blade. No Time to Explain, Overlord Fellowship of Evil, Paladins, Panzer Dragoon Remake, River City Girls 1, Resident Remastered, Phantom Dust, and Fantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. Let's see, next up, Roblox, Samurai Jack Battle Through Time, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which this game actually disappeared for a while, and then when it came back, I was like, you know what, let me buy it before I miss out again. Smite, year 11, wow, I didn't realize Smite was around that long. Styx, Masters of Shadows, this one is digital only. Strider, Space Jam: A New Legacy, Song of Iron, this I believe was also Xbox One exclusive. Toki, Torchlight 2 and 3, two pretty cool Diablo style top-down RPGs. Voodoo Vince Remastered, a really cool, based off the classic OG Xbox game that got remastered. Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap, and I think this is it. Yep, the Yakuza games, Yakuza 0, Kiwami, which is remastered of Yakuza 1, Kiwami 2, a remastered Yakuza 2, Yakuza 3 remastered, 4, 5, and 6, The Song of Life. So there it is, my complete Xbox collection, Xbox One Series X for 2024. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what games you like, what games you picked up this year. What are some of your favorite Xbox games? Hell, your Xbox game of the year. Whatever you guys would like to add. And I am out. And thank you as always, guys. You guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And let's keep gaming awesome as we head into 2025.